my name's Carlos. We're going to do a walk around on my motorbike. Welcome to Fuel Power, and we're at HQ somewhere in Wiltshire. Oh, we're in Wiltshire, aren't we, Jake?
Yeah.
So we are. So what we're going to do a little walk around on my bike, this BMW. I can talk to you about what's different to the standard, a little bit about the horsepower, and what I've done to the bike. So yeah, let's have a look-see. So for those of you who are not familiar with motorcycling, this is a BMW. It's a 1200 GSA. It's an adventure bike. It's a 2009 model. It's a twin flat engine, very much like what you find in a Subaru, with a boxer engine in it, and it's a 1200cc, and it pushes out about 105 horsepower. This bike is not going to win a Grand Prix, I can tell you that now. But if I'm going to race you on a bike, I'm going to race you to Monaco, because this thing will do about 400 miles to a tank of fuel, whereas your hyperbike will probably do about 150. So this bike is pretty standard. I've modified a few things. Firstly, this front screen is different because the original one cracked and BMW wanted £400 for a new one. So Carlos wasn't paying that, so I've got this aftermarket one, which is about £100. Tyres are different. Normally on the BMWs, they will come with a semi-off-road tyre, an 80/20, and I had Metzeler's on there before, but the problem is with that is the road. I use it mainly for road, so I very rarely go off-road. So I've now got, I think it's a Michelin Pilot Tour 5s, and they're amazing tyres, I can assure you. This is aftermarket. I've recently put this on because the original one broke. The obligatory mounts for GoPro, obviously, here. Other than that, these panniers are different. The original BMW panniers, they're made of plastic and they weren't particularly good. But I was lucky because in 2015 I went to the States on this bike. You'll see the stickers. And I got lucky with a company in Bulgaria who gave me a set of panniers for nothing to test them for them long range. And these have been powder coated again, but they're great. They're fantastic. Each one holds about 38 litres of luggage, and there's a top pannier as well, which isn't here today. And again, that holds about, I think it's about 35 sort of litres of luggage. You can put a crash helmet in it. Grips are very slightly different. I have what they call grip puppies. These are great for taking out the vibration when you're riding long distance like I do. As you can see, there are a few stickers on the bike. This is this one here, if people don't know, is the unofficial Catalan flag for independence. And as you can see, the places I've been to, this bike's been to Oregon and all sorts of different places. Again, there's a little locker in here for tools which comes with this set of panniers. A little bit of pop quiz here. If anybody knows what this sticker is, put a comment in the below what the answer is. A bit tragic like me, you'll know what it is. You think you know. So like I say, the bike is pretty standard. There's a few bits of armour plating here, like on here, and just so in case you knock it with your foot, you break something off. So it's really comfortable to drive. One of the main differences of a normal bike, it's got a shaft drive instead of a chain. You have to change the oil in here, but the thing is with this is there's no maintenance other than oil change. You don't have to replace it. But it makes riding extremely comfortable because it's extremely smooth. But yeah, shaft drive bikes. There are a few on the market like that. Triumph make one and Guzzies make one as well. Again, like I said, it's a flat twin engine, boxer engine. Again, like I said before, it pumps out about 100 horsepower. And it pulls. It's got very low down torque. It's great for comfortable for long riding. 6-speed gearbox. Electronic suspension on here even for earlier on, but the problem is these fail. If you're buying a BMW, this is one thing to look for, because these shock absorbers on this model, these are £2,000 a piece. Okay, so you can get aftermarket ones for about £800 or £900. Anything with this motorbike, these BMWs, is serious money. For example, the wheels, you need to replace them from a BMW dealer. It's £1,000 a wheel. It's that crazy. I've had work done on this at the BMW dealership, and I really don't like taking it down there because it's just so expensive. So £125 an hour to the main dealers. This is slightly unusual, whereas this is a clip for a tank bag, which I've not used yet. But on Monday, when you see this video, I will be somewhere in Spain or France. But on Monday, I'm travelling to Spain on the bike. I'm going across to San Malo and riding through Andorra. So it's going to be packed up. It's going to have another pannier on it. It's going to have another bag on it. Yeah, and it's going to be heavy. It's going to be pushing in around close to 300 kilos. So it's a bit of a beast. This dry weight is 256 kilos dry weight. So it's a big bike, and moving it around a car park can be quite difficult. I have dropped this. I'm not one of these people, so I've never dropped a motorbike. I've dropped this a few times. I only dropped it in San Diego in the middle of a traffic junction. I was lucky I got my knee under it, but I have dropped it a couple of times and lifted it in on my own in just sheer anger and adrenaline. So top speed of this thing claimed is about 150 miles an hour, which is quite slow for a bike. I've got it up to some speeds, and I can assure you I've ridden other faster bikes, and this thing can be a bit tricky at higher end speeds because it's just not very aerodynamic. At the end of the day, it's about as aerodynamic as a shed. But as a riding experience, you're sitting up high. You sit as high as a van driver, so you get a good command of the road. And it does actually handle quite well. I've got some footage going through some bends. You might put it on there, Jake might put them in, and you can tip it over quite, well enough. You're not going to be bored, but like I say, it's just purely designed for going long distance. You can literally jump on this and ride hundreds of miles. The most I've ever ridden in one go on this was 180 miles. I just got on it, it was fueled up, and I went and just rode it straight 180 miles. As to where it's been, you can see some of these stickers, Salt Lake City. It has been to these places. I don't put stickers on for the sheer hell of it. I went through Salt Lake City to go to a dealer actually to get this serviced because it needed it when I was out there. But it's perfect for those sorts of environments, or long roads. I have actually ridden this through the Mojave Desert. One of the hottest experiences I've ever been through. It was really quite impressive. But the bike it triggered all the sensors in the tyres. It kept thinking that the bike had 2 punctures, which is a common fault with the sensors in the wheels. But on the whole, it's just a great bike. And this is like I say, this is a 2009. It's air cooled and not water cooled. The new ones are water cooled, and they're bigger capacity. And I think BMW bringing out a 1.4 litre soon. But they're very expensive. You're talking £25,000 for a fully kitted out one. I bought this in 2014. I think it's paid £7,000 for it. I'll probably get my money back on it now with all the miles it's done. And it's low mileage for one of these bikes. It's only done 48,000 miles. You can go on the internet and find some of these. They've done 700,000 kilometres. They will go on. A little bit like Trigger's Broom, you're replacing bits and pieces, but they will generally keep you going. And these ones are quite analog. There's not a great deal of electronics to them, whereas the new ones, like everything, have got a lot of electronics which cause problems. But yeah, it's just generally a very nice bike. I love it. I'll probably keep it now and buy something else. But like I say, if there's any questions you got, please let us know. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. The one question that people do get asked me about is how do you ride a motorbike? And I can show you the different levers and different, levers on the handlebars, and we can show you how that works. Because everything you basically do in a car with your feet and your hands, you replicate the other way around on a motorbike. So this is the back brake here. And this is what you would use effectively as your handbrake when you're doing a hill start. And it's quite literally quite analog, quite basic, and goes to the back wheel. The brakes on here, going away slightly, they're marked up as BMW, but the brakes on here are Brembos, and they stop this thing so quickly, it's crazy. So coming up here, the one thing that people do ask is how do you use your indicators? BMWs on this model, they've reverted to the standard type on other bikes, but on here you have your indicator on the right and on your left down here, and you press that and you cancel it with this, and that cancels both sides. As you can see, there's a horn, lights, you've got some electronics here for turning the traction control off, that sort of thing, just day running lights. And on this side, heater grips, which I must admit don't work at the moment, and you've got a kill switch at the top. On this side here, you have the throttle, and in front here you have the front brake. So when you're in a car, you use your right foot to use the throttle and the brake. you use your right hand here, and on this side you just have the clutch. You pull it in and out, same as you do with your left hand. So it's very, very similar to a car, just the other way around. And just a basic dashboard, binnacle, speedo, rev, and you got all your info here, miles, and you got all your modes and things like that. You got a gear, you got an indicator for what gear you're in. It's currently in neutral, and it's just basically straightforward. And you have you can switch through toggle through all the info down here to what you want, oil temperatures. It's got sensors obviously for the tire pressures, that sort of thing. And it just goes like it's just a great thing to ride. I rode down here today. It's just lovely to sit back and just cruise along the dual carriageway. And the bike is called Lucille. It was named in a competition when I went in 2015 to the States. But like I say, that's the basic. It's a basic bike. It's not too complicated. So, but yeah, there you have it. It's a straightforward, simple bike. This is Fuel Power's part of the Fuel Power fleet. It's the first motorbike. I am thinking about buying another bike soon. That'll probably be next year now. But yeah, if you've got any questions, any comments, leave them. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a like. This a like if you want to. Yeah, and we'll be doing more motorbike content. I'm going to say I'm off to Spain on Monday, and we're going to do some filming there, and we'll see what we can get out of it. So, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon.